Hey, hi, hello. Let's see. Alright, audio looks like good. Good evening. Welcome to the middle of the week. Congrats for making it that far. Sometimes, surviving is the best you can do, right? Although, for me, I had a fairly eventful week. Guess mostly because stuff has happened to me more so than me seeking out stuff to do. Unlike in Grid 2 here, I feel like we're reaching a climax. We have to be reaching a climax. There's no way we can't reaching it, because kind of hit the precipice of the everything. We've seen all the tracks, we've seen all the events. Probably got most of the cars. Like, Season 5 has got to be where we finally, you know, get the big coveted championship spot, right? Guess we'll have to just get in here and find out. Continue the event and back into WSR, like I said, Twitter. 7 events stand between us and the end of the season, and barring any sorts of promotions or sudden invitations, be a pretty straightforward thing. Find out soon enough how straightforward this is. Actually, I want to pick this car because it's like got sort of a sleek look to it, and it's new, so get a feel for it. Seen this loading screen a lot of times. It's kind of cool artistically. I'm not sure what it represents, what it's supposed to mean or anything. Maybe this is just like a curtains are blue situation. They did it because it's cool.
You need to keep your cornering tight and controlled.
Just extremely blurry view of blinking lights because it's cool. Here we go. Off to a good start. Just a time attack, best lap. 3 laps with which we can set a time. It'll be a pretty long race. Looks like the target is 1:50.
You're above pace.
Radio man seems to indicate that we're on a good track too. So, hey, I'm feeling okay. Despite that somewhat disastrous first turn, we seem to be doing better. So yeah, for this week anyways, I think I mentioned stuff finding me. I did mention on Twitter, I had unexpected visitors that I kind of had to like suddenly handle. They were in town for kind of a big event and needed some place to stay like real quick, so I offered up my place to them, which meant I had to clean up a little bit because I live by myself, so most of the time I don't have to care about maintaining the place like absolutely tidy. Obviously you want like some degree of clean, but I didn't have to be immaculate, and still probably didn't have to be immaculate, but I wanted to at least make it decently presentable, so I did. Anyways, they're like good folks, right? I wouldn't be like offering up my place to them if they weren't. And we hadn't spoken for a while, so I guess they weren't quite like familiar with the stuff I did.
Hey, you're driving good, but I want you to drive great. Push ahead.
And like, one of them saw the drum set that I kind of had out. It had been had out for a good long while, and I said, "Oh, wait, are you into music?" I had to I had to tell him, "No, those are actually my rock band drums. I used them to play Rock Band. They're like a decade old now. That's how old they are. I got them when, like, Rock Band 4 first came out. Got the Xbox One version of those drums. I think they're still functional. I haven't turned them on in a very long time. Same deal with my guitar controllers and the microphone. Man. Hard to believe Rock Band 4's still kind of kicking, right? You know, they're just coasting along, but as far as I can tell, they're doing a pretty steady 2 songs per week. Like, I'm almost certain this is like longer than their old streak, right, from Rock Bands 1 to 3, where they did almost uninterrupted DLC releases up to the point where, you know, they said, yeah, we're capping things off, and we're going out on top with American Pie. Like, wow, what a way to go out, right? I can only imagine how they would do it this time around, because, you know, they already did American Pie. What final song could they bring about to mark the end of a second near consistent DLC run? There's probably a couple more songs I could think about that at least, you know, indicate a sense of wistfulness, long-livedness. Personal pick would be like One Republic's I Lived, but I feel like that's like doesn't quite have the cultural impact when one hit with enough people, right? Like most folks, when you mention American Pie, you know how the lyrics include "the day the music died." You're like, ah, yeah, that totally works. But yeah, I'm sure that's up. I'm sure they probably have some ideas in mind. He said, it's been a while since I looked at Rock Band DLC. I need to see what else is out there. Like, I'm pretty sure they're still doing, like, rival seasons and all that good stuff. I had to admit, I was, like, holding out for a long while in Rock Band 4, just maybe holding out to hope that, they would bring back, like, all the customization items from 1 to 3, because I remember those having some pieces there that I really liked, like I forget what the items specifically were called. They kind of had, like, you know, the really goth-like items and the Rockington Prep. That's the one I remember.
The only direction you can move on the leaderboard is downwards. Stand your ground.
For some reason, but yeah, it's like, it's got to be licensing issues, because I remember they also delisted all the old Rock Bands prior, you know, the ones that they were developed under MTV/EA. Guessing that's like very complicated license issues that prevents them from bringing back the old Avatar items too. You know, the wildest part about Rock Band 4 is, like, this was the thing they had early on. It's like they almost did not put in character customization, right? They did not let you make your own characters and put them on stage, but thankfully they reneged on that decision once they realized, oh yeah, that's kind of a big deal, right? It's like a touchstone of Rock Band, just being able to create your own character and seeing them on stage and watching them do stuff. It was a really cool moment, right? Sort of your digital representation of yourself, in a way. But even then, character customization is kind of limited compared to what they did in Rock Band, right? It's like you can only, like, select a top, bottom hat, right? I don't think you can even select, like, separate shoes or whatever, or gloves or anything like that. It's definitely much more limited. I don't think they added, like, that many more Avatar items. Well, they did add a bunch post-launch, but again, it's like not much of the stuff you kind of wanted. I wanted to see, I should say. Not, this is like a personal disappointment. Apart from that,
Your pace is about even with the others. Try and build some more speed.
I guess give them props for keeping at it for 10 years. So I guess once you got the foundation down, right, you got most of the features and stuff that people want to see. It's like just a matter of continuing to bring it forward until, I guess, either the heat death or the universe, or they decide it's not feasible anymore. Yeah.
Keeping it nice and clean out there.
Like, there wouldn't be much reason for them to do Rock Band 5. I think Rock Band 4 was kind of their attempt to bring plastic instruments back to the forefront, but, well, times really, really changed since then, and people, I guess, do not want to put up with, you know, having a bunch of large plastic instruments kind of lying around. Makes it kind of difficult to jump into, because, you know, you definitely need, like, one of those peripherals to jump into the game, and if you want to find one, good luck. They're probably selling for a pretty penny. Like, it's possible that, you know, you can probably find some, like, third-party stuff, but anything official is probably long gone. Yeah, that game's had a pretty rocky start. I remember it was missing a lot of stuff that people kind of considered essential, like a practice mode and online multiplayer. That was the one that kind of interested me the most, because I remember they put out a survey, like, asking what sorts of features people wanted. I remember them saying, look, like, not a lot of you said you wanted online multiplayer, which is why we kind of didn't put it in the base release, but there was enough of an outcry that they went, okay, yeah, we'll put it in. Synchronous multiplayer, there you go, and then they put it in. Same with the practice mode. And they had a career, too, which... it was structured like the Rock Band 2 career, and, you know, it was fine for what it was. Then they had their Rivals expansion pack, which kind of added in the Rivals features and the Rivals mode, and the alternative campaign, which was pretty funny. Like, the thing I remember from that was the way it started, where you started with, like, a gymnasium with only one person. They had, like, specific crowd audio for that, so you could hear the one guy cheering as you completed each song. It was pretty funny. Ah, man.
The circuit is wide and the runoff is forgiving. Just don't cut the track.
Honestly, the absolutely wild thing would be if,
The race is underway. Get ready for the start.
Yeah, Rock Band 4, if they once the PS6 and the Series X successors come out, we just see Rock Band 4 ported to it. It was like, yeah, Rock Band 5. I don't know what they could do with Rock Band 5 to kind of justify having a Rock Band 5, right? Because Rock Band 4 kind of has everything you need for that classic four-person instrument band. The only thing I could really think of is keys, but again, that survey they put out kind of indicated, yeah, not enough of you want keys to justify us putting keys in. Which is a shame, because I really like keys, but I guess, you know, whatever engine they used when supported. Like, I remember Rock Band 3 came out, and they introduced keys as an instrument, and everyone was going, oh man, now we can recreate the K-On band and everything, but then they said, nah, you can only still have 4 players. At least if you still want to have, like, everything scored and stuff. Right, they did have, like, a 5 instruments mode, but I think nothing in that counts. Oh, and there's the Pro Instruments too, which people really enjoyed in Rock Band 3, because it's like the closest thing you got to, like, actually, you know, playing the instrument itself. I remember when they had the proper-ass Pro guitar, and the keys and the drums were kind of already set up to facilitate proness, so you didn't need a separate instrument for that.
You're on pace with the rest.
I guess, like the keys, Pro guitar and bass did not return for Rock Band 4. The only Pro instrument that came back was drums, but that's because they kind of already set the charts and everything up for that. Yeah, Rock Band. I still remember playing that, like, first playing that at my cousin's house, right? We just, like, got that set up, had ourselves a good few nights just jamming out to some tunes that we were really got into. I think it was, like, I had to credit Rock Band for getting me into a lot of the music that I liked, like Bon Jovi, Foo Fighters, Offspring. That was the kind of stuff I dug. Uh-oh, here comes the off-track penalty. Oh, no off-track penalty. Ah, that's funny. But yeah. Yeah, we played through the songs included in the game, and we're like, oh man, there's DLC. Do you think we could maybe get some DLC? Of course, we were looking at it, and then I just remember specifically just buying it before my cousin got like approval, because I think he was using his parents' credit card at the time, and like, you know what? I'll explain it to them later. Thankfully, you know, with the songs like maybe only $6 a pop, hopefully he didn't get too much heat over it. And if anything, hasn't had a lasting effect, considering, you know, he didn't bring it up afterwards, but man. It's like my other favorite part about Rock Band is that harmonics, right? They did their darndest to make sure that whatever DLC you bought, you would just have, right? All the way through. Right? If you bought it on like the PS3 or 360, you would get that carried through. Like, it was kind of astounding the lengths they would go through to make sure you would have that DLC. Like, I forget, there was like a song that they, due to licensing issues, they had to like take off for a really, really long time. I think it was like included in one of the base games. But they kept on bringing that song forward no matter what. And then eventually came to the point where they could like relicense that song, so everyone who owned it previously was just able to play it again, just like that, right? Wave of the finger. It's almost astounding how much out of the way they go through to make sure that whatever DLC you bought can be used forever. Oh, we're getting more invitationals. Okay. Well, I mean, it was inevitable. Hopefully, won't be too many more of these. Okay.
It'll be ready for you to use on your next race.
Let's go.
You're looking like a real contender to win the WSR. Carry on. This is a superb performance.
Yep, there we go. One challenge, one probo. That's a car I just did not pick. It's like, oh, you want me now? You want me? Oh, you'll just have to beat my time trial, and then maybe I'll consider joining you.
You need to keep your cornering tight and controlled, or you'll be on the gravel.
Dang it! Now I want to play Rock Band. Just for old time's sake, I wonder how.
You want to drift this car to get the most out of it. Turn in, get the power down, and hold the drift as long as you can.
I wonder how my crew is doing. I imagine all of them are probably long gone too. I'll check the rival seasons too, see what sorts of awards they were awarding in the interim. I remember being kind of pretty big in the rivals. Like, when they started doing their Spotlight Pass stuff, I would usually get each one because hey, it's like the bulk amount of music. You get it at a discount, may as well, and it'll help you get a leg up on the rivals event as well. I think after a point it became kind of hard to maintain. Right, I had to be playing a lot of songs just to try to stay in a particular tier. But, like, some of the avatar items are like really, really cool. I think I remember like the jackets early on, among other things, but I feel like after a point that all the stuff they can potentially offer up starts running dry. I don't know. This is probably like natural burnout as well. But still, I think I've been away long enough that I could probably jump back in there for a session or two. if I ever have like people over and someone just finds themselves in the mood for Rock Band and we just do like a quick jam session, I'll have considered it all worth it. I mean, it was all worth it to begin with, but it'll be even more worth it.
Great drive. That's another one for the collection.
Another car for the garage. $37 in and we've done one event. Granted,
With the caliber of sponsor we
about
have
20
now,
of those were
objectives
spent
are a
waiting.
must. Check your options.
Another one. Oh man. Well, I think it was like the last season, we got halfway through and they stopped blitzing us with promos and invites, so hopefully that will also be the case here. Back to Yas Marina.
Technical sections require expert car control.
Do they now? Only on ESPN. Dan-na-na, dan-na-na. And there are some things that just have that super familiar melody, right? You kind of hear someone sort of sing it and you just get where they're from. I guess something like Sports Center, if you're into that. There's also the Fox Channel football theme, right? Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. That's kind of ingrained into my head because, yeah, it sounds badass, which I guess is what they were going for. Probably think of others too, right? Like the Mario theme, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Or the Halo themes, like da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And all that good stuff. Or a Legend of Zelda, right? Da 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 da. They're kind of things where you hear someone kind of do something that resembles it, and you're like, ah, yeah, I know what that's from. Now, I was going out today, and right, because I had to run like an errand real quick. I was walking down the street, and I had like a pop culture shirt. It was like Mario Brothers shirt. Just was about to walk into my a place. Someone was like, excuse me," and kind of flagged me down. Said, "I like your shirt." I went, "Ah, thanks." It's like, I've come to kind of expect like people kind of throwing me compliments when I'm out and about, dressed in like women's clothes, because outfits are usually cute, and I guess people just want to comment on them. Or maybe they want to show some support to me. Either way, I appreciate it, but like very rarely do I get someone going, yeah, your shirt's like pretty rad. Makes me happy that I got a collection of eclectic shirts, or funny shirts with video games and stuff on them.
With the caliber of sponsor we have
There we
now,
go.
those objectives
Back
are
to
a
promo.
must. Check your options.
And this is the last one. Oh, an endurance race. 7 minutes. Well, at least they haven't upped it any further. That being said, I can understand where they're coming from, because I've definitely yelled out to people that I like their shirts as well. Like, I remember a few years back, I think I saw a group of people, like they were, I think they were wearing the Purple Parrot shirts from Legends of the Hidden Temple, so I just wanted to call out to them, because, right, it's like, that's not shirts you see very often. It's like, hey, yeah, your shirts are, like, pretty cool. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. Not much else you can say, I guess. There is a certain degree of pride to be had in picking out a shirt that other people seem to dig, right? Even if you didn't make it.
Your body works pretty banged up.
That's okay. If Virgin's sponsoring this, they should be able to afford any sorts of retouching that these cars may need, right? Dang, when I think I passed one, another comes by, it's like, aha! Take advantage of the chaos. Took Radio Man's advice to heart. This person will just not stop being 1 step ahead of me. There we go. All I gotta do is hold out for another 6 minutes. It's not a live route. You know, it's been a while since we've done a live route event. Have we done all the live route stuff? I imagine each one's probably only done like once or twice, right? They've only do like a single combination of live route plus event type. And if we've gone through all the possible ones, then I guess it makes sense that we wouldn't see them anymore. But whew. So we keep this pace up. I suspect we'll hit 60,000 feet easy. Maybe it's 65,000 by my estimate. We'll see. Guess I didn't do much else with the folks, with my guests. Like, they left today. I guess we went out for lunch. It was kind of it, right? They went in, did their big event thing here, and they were out. That was it. Kind of funny how that works, right? It's like people you remember from back in the day. It's like cross paths once again, even momentarily. Their story takes them a different direction, and mine goes off in its own direction. I guess it just makes you kind of appreciate the moments that you do spend. Right? It's like
4 minutes to go.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's like sort of like the warm feeling of familiarity, right? It's like slipping into a comfortable set of clothes that you know that you like, or you go into your bed every night. It's like this is your familiar spot. This is where you curl up and get super duper comfy. That's what it kind of felt like meeting old folks. I've been doing as of late. I've been starting to concept an idea for like a unique video that I would put up for YouTube, and not like a compilation of stream stuff, though I probably should do that too. I keep saying I was going to do that, and I keep on not doing that. I should probably get to doing it. But yeah, since I figured I want to focus on tabletop stuff, I want to maybe do like a hand cam video talking about a tabletop game. I want to start with the small stuff, right? Just slowly work my way up to the bigger stuff. Part of me wants to like maybe see some other board game videos and see how they do it, and just to kind of get an idea of the kind of stuff you want to cover. Part of me also doesn't want to do it because I feel like I might be influenced too much by it. I want to try to make it unique.
2 minutes to go.
It's like I want to show people how the tabletop game works, but I also want to kind of, take advantage of, or at least give it a unique spin besides having that VTuber avatar just sitting on the screen, right? I gotta spice it up. Maybe not spice it up is the wrong word, but I kind of want to make it stand out some way or another. I'm still trying to figure it out. Maybe the best way to do it would be, once I get my live 2D, I would start doing that. Maybe put it out there and see what the people think, right? Try to crowdsource it. Maybe they can come up with something I might realize that I could probably put in there and make it all make sense. Oh. Okay, we might break 60,000.
Just set the fastest lap.
We'll see. Also been trying to like,
Final 30 seconds.
you know, just make a note of all the ideas that kind of just come into my head, because it's like, yeah, once I get my 2D model, I want to go to town just making a bunch of dumb shorts related to this kind of stuff. Oh man. So I might have been a bit generous when I was saying, oh hey, might actually break 65,000. I don't even know if I'll get 60.
10 seconds to go.
Probably nothing short of a miracle at this point. Just made it. I had my eye on the foot counter the whole time. Could you imagine if I stopped at like 59,985 or something like that? Because that road was shorter. Looks like I barely made it too. Huh. What a finish. That's why they say don't drive distracted, right? Don't even bother to look at your foot tally on top there. Just drive as far as you can. If it were any different, probably would have cost me the race, but thankfully that was not the case.
Superb. Just superb. You're totally committed to those fans. Keep it up.
Still coming soon. Alright. 3 down. 6 to go. Off to eliminators. I wish I could sort these vehicles. I think the Bugatti. It's either Bugatti or the Koenigsegg. We'll go with this one. Was my used vehicle still the Nissan Silvia? Got to be using it in the interim. I just don't realize it. 66. And this is event 67.
Miami's roads have an uneven camber, so watch they don't unbalance the car. Stay alert and keep your
Probably
eye
would
on
matter
those
if I was
events.
playing on a
Survey
higher
challenge.
difficulty. Lorenzo Vela. You say he's one to watch, but I'm pretty sure I smoked him in some other event a while ago.
Sector 1 has given you problems in the past. You need to work on it.
Oh, this one's gonna be a long one. Okay, I forgot what the eliminator was.
Your car
This
was
is
wrecked. Looks like
this
there's
is
some damage behind you.
what the eliminator was. Which means it's 6 minutes and 20 seconds? Here we go. It's at 40. In any case, we're gonna be in this one for a while. I wish this was like the one event where they didn't try to have like the full allotment of 12. Like even if they just bumped it down to 10, that would be ideal.
First driver has been eliminated.
That's like how this music always starts up during these eliminator events. I suppose if you got a composer who composed some music that's like specifically to the timing to the seconds on the clock and with dramatic drops every 20, then you want to play it as much as you can just to at least show off the composer's musical prowess. I know, I'm thoroughly pleased by the effect. I always said I like a good musical moment. This is no different. You know what other game also has a good musical moment? Killer Instinct. The 2013 game, when you do an ultra combo, right, you just hear every blow just has an instrument played. It's like, and you get the right stage and character combo, and it comes out sounding real cool. Like, even in the menus, right, you go up and down them, the tones they play make up the Killer Instinct main theme.
That's one more eliminated.
Can you believe that game's getting like a 10th anniversary update? Like, they brought back the folks at Iron Galaxy and were like, yay, 10 years later, we're gonna do some balance changes, some graphical updates, and we're gonna make this thing look super sexy on the Xbox Series X. Like, part of me wonders if they're just paying lip service to all the people who have been super faithful to the game all these years, or if this is like an interest probe to see if there's enough hype for a Killer Instinct successor. I'm guessing there's a lot of people hoping it's the latter. I know I kind of am, because I don't think people were expecting much of that Killer Instinct game when it first came out. First, there was all the bad press that the Xbox One kind of received because of the stuff they were going to do with it.
That looked unhealthy. Don't take any more damage.
And now it comes to this Killer Instinct that just comes out of nowhere. Looks a lot darker and grittier, and they're just like, they're just dragging some old property out of the grave to do their gritty, dark, and edgy reboot. Probably gonna suck. And surprise, surprise, it wasn't. It had some unique mechanics, really cool, again, musical style to it, and solid mechanics and everything. Like, hey, you know what? This is actually pretty good.
In the top 3. Don't get complacent.
So, you know, after their first 2 DLC characters, they got a Season 2 and a Season 3. And for a long time, that was kind of it, right? Well, it came out on Steam as well, so I guess there was that, but apart from that, that's kind of like the Killer Instinct that everyone got for a while. It does make me hopeful. How do you give it a... Although I do wonder how they will change things up to, you know, kind of differentiate it from Killer Instinct 2013. While building on what made that game so great.
You're leading in the event standings. Hold that position.
I think the only thing that might be a shame about that is Double Helix was originally the ones who made the game, right? They did all that stuff, and people didn't have much expectations there either, because I think their previous offerings were not great. So this game comes out and it's like, oh wow, this is surprisingly decent, and then Double Helix gets scooped up by Amazon Games, so they moved off to Iron Galaxy, but I always did wonder, what would a game that continued development under Double Helix have looked like? I guess it's probably not going to be too much different, but you never know. And no, I was wrong. It's not 6 minutes we'll be here. It's just going to be 4 minutes, 20 seconds, which is still a pretty long time, but not as long as I thought it would be. Oh, boy. Thought I could avoid that, but I ended up kind of spinning out myself. Okay, this is a real rough and tumble here. I need to get past these mofos somehow. I had to think about these games. You find yourself kind of stuck behind a car. You're really not going to advance because, you know, you're not strong enough to push a car through the pack as much as you'd like to try. Really do have to kind of slip around them.
First driver
There
has
we
been
go.
eliminated. That's another eliminated and out of the running.
Yeah, if everything pans out this week, well, at least to see the end of Sunset Overdrive. I only have like one more DLC pack to run through there. The Dawn of the Rise of the Fallen Machines, I think they called it. And you can kind of sort of see, you know, once I play through it, that definitely very much a conclusive note for sort of the content run of Sunset Overdrive. The degree way they just kind of escalated everything and the note they ended on. It's like, yeah, you can't really go... I don't think there's really that much further to go from there.
They're out of here. Eliminated.
Huh. I'm surprised I kind of wiped out there for a good long while and did not get caught up to. I wonder if I managed to, like, pass the give-up threshold for the opponents. Now they're just... Yeah, alright, you know what? Just cruise for like 2 minutes 20 seconds and you'll get your first place finish. I think I'm also out of flashbacks. Spent an inordinate number of them back there. I did mention that I wish they'd maybe done scaling flashbacks, right? Not a flat number per race, but just give you specific amount, depending on how long the race is.
Keep your focus. Only 4 more to eliminate.
Another hour... I almost said hour 20 minutes, but no, it's minute 20 seconds. Ooh. This game is warping my sense of time, I swear. This is like week 6 I've playing Grid 2.
One more driver to eliminate.
I admit, still having fun, but you know, I'm kind of ready for this to reach a conclusion, right? Ready to call it good, and ready for the game to hand me my championship position.
Only 2 cars left between you and the win.
So close, so close. They are catching up though, so I probably can't afford too many more mess-ups. That honestly would be the biggest heartbreak. Just dominate the entire race, but
Only you and
way
one
too
other
many
driver
mistakes.
left. You can do
Ends
this.
up
Win this race.
going, yep. Pack it in. That's another one done. You know, the timer up there said 4 minutes. I don't know why it's like 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Because you do, what is it? 11 eliminations, plus did 20 seconds start. Which is like 160. Or, no. Yeah, it should be 4 minutes even.
All right, you're the man to beat. First on the leaderboard right now.
I don't quite get it either, but it's probably just something I'm missing here. Not that it matters. I'm here for the first place. I'm not really here to kind of math everything out. I'm almost driven 900 miles. I shouldn't say 1,000. I don't even know if I'll reach 1,000. If we get to season 10, it'll definitely, or season 6, it'll definitely be 1,000 miles. But for now, 900 seems to be
Time
a
for a
shoe-in.
high-speed sightseeing trip around Paris. Let's show them how it's done.
I've done
You're
sightseeing
currently
tours
leading
like
the event. Keep up the good work.
many times now. Alright, one more eliminator. I also do like that the first section here does not start with music. Because hey, it hasn't started yet, right? So there's no need for the intense music. It's only when kind of start getting the knockout stat you need it. Here we go. Once more unto the breach. Ooh, that was an almost smooth slide in there. Didn't collide with the cars. I did collide with the wall, but you know what? I'll take the little victories, right? Physics be unpredictable sometimes. It'd be like, yeah, sometimes you're not gonna completely ride that wall all the way around. You're just gonna clip at a spot and your car will just start spinning out.
That's another eliminated and out of the running.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, I think about it. What if 20 seconds was kind of just their way to indicate that first place survived long after everyone else? Because, you know, second place definitely survives all the way up to 4 minutes. I guess for scoring purposes, they would need to just add 20 seconds on the clock for the winner. Sort of their way to kind of technically get that to work out. But you know what? I'll take it. Imagine making sure this whole game kind of holds together. It's already a miracle enough. People say that all the time, right? And I'm inclined to believe them. It's like, it's a miracle that sometimes games like come out, manage to get out of the gate. It's even usually more miraculous if they come out without, like, massive bugs. But you gotta appreciate the ones that do manage to make it out.
Keep your focus. Only 4 more to eliminate.
This'll be easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Now, every time I see the STP logo in the distance, I almost get them confused for Circuit City. You know, even if the coloring's like completely different.
Guaranteed to be in the top 3 if you can eliminate 1 more.
This resembles Circuit City enough to me that I mistake it for that. Boy, anyone remember Circuit City? I know that's not like a global franchise, but they used to be everywhere back in the day.
Only 2
It
cars
was like
left
the
between
electronics
you and the win.
competitor to the up-and-coming Best Buy. I forget why Circuit City eventually had to close down, but I don't remember. I think I still have like a couple of products that are like Circuit City branded that are lying around. I wouldn't say I'm using them.
Only you
I did
and
use
one
them,
other
but
driver left. You
I'm not
can
using
do
them
this.
anymore.
Win this race.
But yeah. The one I remember the most, right, is the commercial they used to do where it's like the holidays and the guys on the computer, and then like his wife comes in and goes, "Yeah, you got all our presents, right? You didn't forget our presents, right?" And he goes, "No, I didn't forget them. They're at Circuit City." And she leaves, right, because she's kind of content now. Just suddenly turns back to computer and just like get this pause, and you see the text on the screen appear, "You forgot." I don't know why that one sticks out to me so much. I think it's because, you know, it's a contrary thing. You trying to not let things spiral out of control while working behind the scenes to make sure no one ever realizes you messed up. I forget. He did manage to like get the presents at Circuit City, but then there was something else he needed to do that he obviously also forgot. It's like a condensed version of Jingle All the Way, kinda. Or, you know,
You've raced like a champion. There's a place in the final for you, and who knows what this race will bring.
wow. Kind of an achievement that's like, I'm gonna let you finish, and achievement was like, you got more fans than Taylor Swift does on social media. Like, dang. Topical. Has it really been a lot long since we had that rather infamous moment? There it is. 5 rounds. The ESPN Race Championship. I mean, it's ESPN. It's gotta be it, right? Another 4 events here. Let's see, this goes. The whole 4 races. Get a drink of water real quick. Whew. Yep, got some proper water this time. Because I finally put my dishes in the sink into the dishwasher and got them all cleaned up. And also washed off the pans that I used to make the meatballs on. Really need to do that earlier. I probably should have done that earlier. But you know what? What matters is that I got it done, right? Now they're all squeaky clean. At least, you know, as clean as I can get them. Here's a thing that I thought was unique to me, but I'm kind of sort of glad that other people have had issues with is families who just seem really reticent. What's that? Is that how you say that? Seem unwilling to use a dishwasher, even if they have a dishwasher. They'll insist on making people hand wash them all the time, no matter what. It's like, dishwasher's right there. It's like, yeah, definitely learn how to wash the dishes, because that'll be useful for those times when you don't have a dishwasher. But when you do have a dishwasher, it's like, you know, let them learn it and then maybe not worry about it anymore. It's like, I think someone said that their parents made them hand wash them because they thought that saved water. And then studies came out that said, no, putting them in the dishwasher usually saves you more water. Yeah. It does get annoying when you got the people who seem to want to treat the dishwasher as a glorified drying rack. And I was like, well, what's the point in having a dishwasher then? And of course, the answer is probably pretty obvious. They only see, they want the kids to know their place. It's like, you exist as a sim. We point you at a spot and tell you to do thing, and you will do thing for us. Now hop to it, sim. I think that's like the realization I've come with my life. It's like, I wasn't a person. I was just a sim to them. A sim that they would point here and there to raise the skills. Eventually they would hit milestones, and then they would get the adoration and fame from the world that they so desperately crave. Certainly sucked for me, because, you know, they would like 90% of the time always set the bar to an unreasonable level. It would be in the case of, hey, do the thing, and then you show them results. It's like, they could just go, yeah, you didn't do it well enough, right? It didn't matter how well you did it. It could just go, what the hell is this you're showing me? Piece of crap. Ugh. Definitely took a hit to my self-esteem. I think it's that point where, you know, you just gotta... In the end, I had learned that I had to look out for myself, right? Can't live trying to please other people, because sometimes they will use that to their advantage and always move the goalpost so that you'll constantly try to chase it, and then
Okay, keep it up. You're driving a good, clean race.
And then before you know it, you a lot of your life has passed by. Like, yeah. I guess at least I realized it after a certain point, rather than kind of being stuck in that cycle forever. I always read stories about other people who are still kind of under the thumb of their parents, and part of me wants to go cheer for them. Be like, yeah, maybe one day they'll realize they're just being manipulated and break free. Part of me also goes, it's most likely a hopeless situation if they don't realize it. Just kind of had to step back and let them figure it out. And if they don't, well, that's how it goes sometimes, right? Can only do so much. After a certain point, you just have to let them take control of the reins if they do so.
First in the event standings. Keep it up. There's Silva. Use caution when trying to pass this guy. He's not scared to trade paint.
That's okay, neither am I. Have you seen me race? I will bump and grind my way to the front. That's what I gotta do. I thought I was gonna get a corner cutting penalty there.
You're in the place I'd call average. You're not average. Come on.
Yeah, this is like a pretty decent pep talk, actually.
You're not far from the top 3 now.
It's like, I know you can do better, man. It's a saying that I always like to think about. I think I mentioned it before, but it's always I don't even know if it's like a thing that's actually said, but I just like the way that it's worded. It's like seeing yourself, what I see in you.
Got the lead.
It's like fantastic phrase when you kind of sit down and think about it, right? Because it comes with the implications like, I know you can be great. See in yourself what I see in you. Sort of pep talk that lets them know, hey, there are people out there who believe in you. I believe in you. I want you to believe in yourself. I guess you could put it as believe in me who believes in you. Is that how that goes? Something like that. I don't know. Something about seeing yourself what I see in you just hits just right. That's the kind of words, like, someone told me that when I was feeling down. I'd probably start feeling a little better. At least knowing that at least one person out there just got my back. What's real interesting? Seems like the Grid 2 VODs are like, they're doing okay numbers, right? I'll put them up and I'll check them later, and they got like more views than my other VODs usually get. Right? It's like I only kind of put up there for archival purposes, so I'm not too concerned about the numbers there, but it's kind of fun to track and see what people are kind of checking out
5 seconds ahead of
on
second
my
place.
VODs
Keep
channel.
extending that gap.
There are other VODs that kind of got more views than the Grid 2. Just Grid 2 kind of got consistently higher than normal average of them. It's like one-offs. The 20 Minutes Till Dawn video got
Well done. You're driving a really
a sort of
good
high
race.
number of views, and so did Halls of Torment,
That's the fastest lap this race.
which I guess tracks a little bit because there was a bit of a spike in interest in them, at least for Halls of Torment, and then 20 Minutes Till Dawn just came out, so I guess the algorithm just putting it up to the handful of folks. I think the 20 Minutes Till Dawn video actually also has a like on it. Someone liked it. It's like pretty cool. I do try to put a little bit more effort, right? It's not just dump the video and call it a day. Right, if there's like extraneous stuff attached to it, or if the video got split into multiple parts because my SP is being a douche, then I'll try to string it together, or, you know, cut out anything that might be like a 2-part stream, like I did with Sunset Overdrive and The Longest 5 Minutes, because that was like a 2-for-1. I'd cut those into separate videos. And I also make use of timestamps too. Like, for the majority of the videos, it's just, hey, here's where the gameplay starts, here's where the gameplay ends, here's where the stream ends. But then there are some others, like on Roguebook and the Halls of Torment, and I think the Hi-Fi Rush Arcade Challenge too, where I try to denote different sections.
The leaderboard is downwards. Stand your ground.
So if someone wanted to check out a particular run or particular mode, they could do that. I think the Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart video also has like different parts to it. Then again, it's like pretty easy to denote the different parts because, you know, just, hey, went to this planet, boom, timestamp.
And the runoff is forgiving. Just don't cut the track. It might damage the car.
Something like this would be a lot trickier, depending on how granular I want the timestamps to be. Most of the time I don't even bother.
You know the deal out there. Good luck, bud.
You know what? I'm super excited. Came out today. Probably noticed if you were seeing my tweets. 30XX, or is it XDX out? 30XX finally came out. It's a 1.0 release. They finally added the final 2 stages of the game. So I did a run just to see what they were like, and boy, that game ends on an appropriate note. It's like the final boss and 2 are what you expect them to be. Well, the first one is, and then the second one, I think I perhaps have a bit more of appreciation for it because I played 20XX, but yeah. Although it did considerably extend the runs. Like in early access, when they only had like the 8 stages for you to go through, I could usually complete a run in like an hour. But now they got like the 10 stages. Took me an hour and a half to complete 30XX run. Which makes me think maybe I should have done more like that entropy cluster stuff before they added those other stages on, but yeah, well. I think I also got lucky with the combination of augments I got. I was able to score some ones that gave me a ton of health and a lot of armor too, so I was kind of able to just tank my way through the final boss battles. Those boss battles kind of go hard, right? It's like higher difficulty. As the time goes on, they just add more and more projectiles on the screen. So it feels like you gotta get real adept at dodging patterns and stuff. That being said, even though you can, like, you know, do a run from beginning to end, it does feel like they are hinting at greater things. Got like a bunch of items that you can get by fulfilling certain conditions, and I'm curious as to what they'll lead to. I'm sure the community will spade it out pretty quickly, and then we can figure out what all that stuff leads to. My guess is it'll be like a true final boss or something like that. Maybe like a bonus cutscene. Hopefully it won't be something that affects the 30XX runs too overtly.
Okay, we're back in the race, but you need to push to make up for lost time.
I think I'll be fine. We are halfway through this lap and kind of cruising along pretty nicely. I did complete one run as Nina. Now I want to do a run as Ace and see if I can get him all the way to the end. Save the future. Of course, Battery Staple Games have stated that they're hard at work on more content, some post-launch stuff. They mentioned new characters, more maker refinements, so eager to see how that goes. So I know 20XX got 2 characters post-launch, so I wonder if those 2 characters will come back or if they'll put out some other characters. Like, if they want to continue with the Mega Man X parallels, I'd imagine they'll put out something akin to, like, Axel, right?
On top of the leaderboard. Don't get knocked off.
Like, someone that can just copy the enemies in some manner or another. Let you do their stuff. Because each stage does have, like, a fixed enemy set, so... be interesting to see how they put a twist on that.
Big height changes here, so watch out for cresting bends.
Maybe they want to base like movesets off of Mega Man Zero weapons or something. I don't know. I'm sure they got stuff on the board there ready to be tested and developed. Forgot this was a 4-race event.
Close the gap to first.
I kind of closed as far as I can. Now all that's left to do is really just pass this car, which I just did, so do not fear.
Got the lead. You need to pick it up after that mistake.
Pick up the pace! That's what I always yelled on Fear Factor, right? Just pick up the pace! I think in high school, I remember one of the writing assignments we had to do was a satire. We had to write a satire or something, so I decided to write a whole Fear Factor parody. I called it Jeer Factor. Right, because it was less about scary situations, more about awkward situations that people would laugh at. Right? Kids in high school laugh at you because that's what high school kids did, because they're cruel sometimes. I don't remember the details of it, but I remember the teacher being pleased with the assignment. Man. I always think back to those days of school and always thinking, yeah, it feels like yesterday, and I always have to think, oh no, it's been
That's a great start.
much
Hold
longer
this
than
position
that
and
for
the
me.
race is yours.
Been a good long while. Many, many, many years. And that there are still specific events about it that I remember as if it was yesterday. I'm sure it's kind of blurred over the years and probably remembering like an idealized version of it, but every now and again I'll just have a
Keep extending that gap.
particular memory from an old day just like pop back up in my head, like, oh yeah, that happened. And, you know, most of the time I just move on, because like, well, there's not much else I can do with it. It's fun to remember. Yeah, times were really different back then, right? It's like fewer responsibilities, or at least responsibilities were different, right? Back then it was like worrying about getting your assignments done, getting your grades done, making sure you were able to do the stuff you wanted to do with your friends and your classmates, making sure all your things are squared away for the field trips and your extracurriculars. I mean, I guess for those of us who had like that 3-month-long summer break, it was just like things just hit different then, right? It's like, oh man, now that we don't have to go to an educational institution for 7 hours in a day, it's like
Fastest lap of this race.
a whole lot of extra free time. And you remember the running joke then being, yeah, you know, for the first week or so, maybe you're just living it up because it's like, oh yeah, free time, woo! And after that, it's like, oh, now I'm bored out of my skull because I'd done all the fun stuff I wanted to do, and now it's boring, and well, what do I do now? That's when hangouts with friends became a lot more frequent, at least for me. Oh, saw VTube Studio kind of flicker for a bit there, so I was worried that maybe it crashed again, but I think I'm okay, so we're moving on. Yeah, and then, you know, August rolls around, it's like, just felt like yesterday we had so much time on our hands. Where did all that time go? You know, come start of school, just reluctantly go back to it, but you're kind of glad too, because you get to see your friends in sort of a structured environment once more. You know, the occasional day off that comes up, and the weekends too, you appreciate them for giving you that time away from school that you need, provided you didn't have like big homework assignments or projects or whatever. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I completely prefer the life I have right now as an adult. I know a lot of other people complain about adulting. It's like, man, I gotta actually do all this stuff for myself. But it's like, yeah, I mean, so do I. But you know what else lets us get? Freedom! So much freedom! Granted, that might be like a personal thing because you know, we didn't have that much freedom when I was a kid, so you know, growing up and being able to buy what I want within reason, of course. Being able to eat what I want within reason, of course. Being able to go wherever I want within reason, of course. Being able to kind of set my own schedule within reason, of course. It's like stuff I got to appreciate, right? It's like I could finally march to the beat of my own drum and not be forced to kind of
Driving, Goose. That's a first place finish in the round. Sweet.
work at other people's paces. Because that always stressed me out when I would try to kind of work things at my own pace, and people would always try to tell me to chop, hurry it up, or do it this way, and I'm like, come on, I got a system here, and it's nice to be able to do stuff without having a judgmental eye being trained on you all the time. I'll say that. I imagine for those people who did have like infinite freedom when they were a kid, I could see why being an adult would be more restrictive for them. But for me, it's like paradise. Again, I do have to pay bills, I do have to pay rent, I do have to feed myself, but you know, I also have to go to work during the day. But you know, compared to everything else I get to do on my own and decide for myself, it's great. I like it. I remember talking with my cousin about that too, and I think he was like one of those kids who maybe might have had more freedom when he was a kid, but he also said, you know, there's things to be an adult that you like, right? More than just being able to drink, of course. That is a perk on its own for some people, but you know, there's other stuff you get to do. It's... I think the saying there that would probably be fit is the grass is always greener on the other side, right? You're always looking at what you don't have and be like, oh man, that looks so great, and it only looks even greater because, you know, you're kind of looking at it from the perspective of someone who doesn't have it. But you know, you maybe get a taste of it for a brief moment, and then you realize, maybe it's not as great as it appeared to be at first glance. I remember someone bringing up the argument, like, you know, probably a handful of movies out there about kids and adults who trade places, or maybe if not movies, like episodes of a TV series where they do that. Right, kid wants to be an adult so that they can be treated seriously, adult wants to be kid to be free. And they realize the kind of consequences that come with that as well. Right, it's not all sunshine and roses on both sides. There's downsides to it too, right? Like maybe as a kid, there's other responsibilities that you also get saddled with that you might not want as much. Same with an adult. Or maybe as a kid, right, you realize that maybe there are certain things that you don't have access to because, you know, unlike an adult, you don't have ready access to money most of the time. You know, then they come back to their original selves, their original roles with a greater appreciation. What they got. As that would be the other saying that probably fit in that case. You don't realize how much you take things for granted until you lose them. And that's more than just a you know, a life thing. That's can also apply to other things, right? The current lifestyle you lead, the people you're around. Sometimes it just changes, and you just have to kind of live and then change reality. The new reality that where the substantial thing happened. This other car is hot on my tail. It's like one little mess up and they'll completely overtake me, so I gotta be extra careful. They're trying so hard to pass me. Still got a 3/8 of the race to go. Can't get complacent. Although I can flash back 4 times. So I'm sitting okay at the spot. Look at them trying to get ahead of me now. I was like, no. No, you stay back there. Please don't cause me to blow out of this face-off. Man, why couldn't this have been a 2-gay? Well, it wouldn't have made a difference, considering they've been hot on my heels this whole time. We would have raced all the way to the end no matter what. Oh, apparently they just decided to fall way back. Not sure what happened. Maybe I tripped the give up threshold for the AI. That'd be pretty funny. Still a chance I can mess up though. Alright, just takes one bad spin out to kind of... One bad unrecoverable spin out, I should say. I feel like this track in particular, that seems to have the most unrecoverable, unflashbackable, for some reason, spin outs. Still a win streak of 66.
The uneven rock faces that line the track are brutal. Give them a wide berth.
Alright, in the semifinals. Let's see how much of a fight Harrison Carter puts up here. Or maybe they just like see the name on the roster like, oh, this guy. Well, I guess I'll enjoy semifinals position. I wonder if you get like eliminated in the semifinals, they'll still put you in like a match to determine if you get 3rd or 4th place. Or if it's just like try again. Yeah, Harrison Carter's kind of really chomping at the bit there. Mess up once and they'll probably rocket ahead of me. What do you call a sleeping cow? A bulldozer. That's a good one. Hello, Deanfluenza1. Thanks for checking me out. Welcome. Just call me Dean. Alright, will do. How are you doing, Dean? You can see I am doing okay. I'm managing to stay ahead of Harrison here. He really, really wants to pull ahead of me. Just not found the opportunity. I'm alright having Euphoria right now. How are you doing? Oh, good to hear. I'm doing okay myself. Doing a little worse now that Harrison has pulled ahead of me. But you know what? I can always fix that. By just going back in time and trying that section again. I have a limited amount of times I can do that per race. Thankfully in these types of events, they always reset your number of flashbacks per race, so it's not like you have 5 for the entire event. Okay, we're only halfway through this sprint here. Still got plenty of time to regain the lead. Just need to make sure I don't mess up too many times because I only got 2 flashbacks left. You know, before the late night shows kind of went off air, rightfully so because of the writer's strike, I think one of the kind of shows of the moment on one of them, Seth Meyers, I believe, they were talking about Euphoria. I remember people talking highly of that show, I think, because it deals with, like, heavy subjects and kind of treats them with care. Yeah, I do remember they were making quite a few jokes related to that. It was like that and Succession. I think that one was also enjoyable because it showed really, really rich people just being miserable. I think that's what a lot of folks want to see right now. And I'm sure if I talked to, like, my one cousin about Euphoria and Succession, they would tell me all about it. Those... Because they're kind of like media mavens.
I give that race 10 out of 10.
They're like the folks that, when we come to visit them, they're always telling us about this new show that they started watching and they thought was, like, pretty funny. Like, I've been introduced to a bunch of series thanks to them. I think the one I remember most recently is like Smigadoon, which I think you could best describe as just like 50s musical pastiche parody the show. They definitely poke fun at the conventions of those kinds of shows back in the day, when viewed through a modern lens. And then season 2 took them to just like a Chicago pastiche. So we get, like, a different style of music there. I don't know how that's doing. But, yeah, everyone seems to really enjoy that show. And there was another show I forget the name of that they also liked. I don't know. They used to watch a lot of anime. Like, I remember that was the thing we would do, right? Before they would tell us about some show they caught on, like, Netflix or Apple TV or Hulu or whatever, they'd be talking about, hey, this is an anime series that was, like, I saw on Crunchyroll that was, like, pretty rad. And we'd be able to talk about that. Or, like, for the majority of them, it was just, like, the hottest action series, so... Got to hear a lot about Attack on Titan, Black Clover, One Piece, My Hero Academia. Although one of them did like the more chill stuff, so yeah. I remember telling them, it's like, yeah, so there's this series called Laid Back Camp that I really dig. And they're like, oh yeah, that's a really relaxing one. I'm like, yeah. Oops. Well, at least I prevented them from getting far ahead of me. I guess it's another sign that, you know, times change, right? Interests change, right? It's like, maybe their tastes change too, and that's fine. You don't always have to be into stuff like I am. I admit, I haven't watched the anime series proper in a little bit. Been occupied with just playing video games. I only feel like only so much time in a day, and with animes, especially if you watch them like subs, you kind of have to dedicate your entire focus to them, right? Because you got to be able to read the subtitles as well as watch the scenes, so you really can't, like, you know, do something else on the side. I think that's like the realization I just came to. Anime watching has been supplanted by me just catching streams and watching that instead, because it's like the thing I can just, like, you know, mostly put on the background while I'm off doing other stuff, whether it be like reading sites or playing a video game or whatever. Like, even back then I was still, you know, watching streams and stuff, but definitely not to the degree that I am these days. I think back then my streaming content consumption mostly consisted of, like, Giant Bomb and Super Best Friends. Like, you know, one group's disbanded, although most of the crew is still doing stuff related to streaming. And the other group's gone through, like, some serious staff overhauls and kind of fell off a while ago. Like, I'm sure they're still doing fine. I check up their site every now and then. They're still putting out stuff, but it's like, I don't know, I just haven't watched any of their stuff for a while. Like, yeah, they're still doing fine work. It's not what I'm into anymore. At the very least, you know, just saw my first VTuber stream and I kind of fell hard down that rabbit hole and haven't stopped falling yet. I mean, heck, look at me, I'm a VTuber now and doing streaming stuff.
We want to keep gaining support from new fans. Have a look at completing an objective.
Alright, down to 3. The top 3. And I have more objectives? Seriously? Oh, finish head of Makoto Nakano in, oh, the Drift series. This one is past at least 60 checkpoint gates in all rounds of Virgin Media checkpoint series. I think these are like the 2 events I haven't done yet. Yeah. So maybe with some luck, these will be the 2 we get out of the way. Ooh. I just picked a new car there. Well, it's fine. Like, I kind of agonize over the selection, but maybe I shouldn't have been doing that. Ours aren't too substantially different. This isn't like Mario Kart where, you know, they all have vastly different stats. Like, even here, like, they've already pre-divided the cars into various classes.
Time added on there. You're doing pretty well on time. Just don't slow down.
Don't stop. Da, 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 da. I need to look up what that song is called. Because I, like, hear it all the time. It's like, you know, I like the don't stop bit. Forgot to check how many rounds this race was. So that'll let me know how many checkpoints I had to pass on average in order to meet the 60 checkpoints objective. Because there's definitely going to be a significant change if I gotta do 3 or 4 of these. Oh boy, I saw welcome to the chat
10
room.
seconds left.
Or that means my stream got interrupted. Oh boy, I can't wait to check the VODs. That's gonna be fun.
5 seconds left.
Also means I'm gonna have to piece this VOD together probably. What I find weird, it's like when I download the videos from Twitch,
Get to the next
they're
checkpoint
probably
as
like,
quickly as you can.
you know, single-digit gigabytes, but when I go run them through DaVinci Resolve, you know, just either to cut parts out or to splice together multiple VODs,
Well done. You're leading the event.
the resultant video always comes out to like 70. Like, how does that even work? What are they throwing in there that's ballooning the size by a factor of 10? Am I doing something wrong? Am I picking like a wrong format? I tried like, you know, changing that and changing other things, but nah, it's always,
Barcelona is full of sweeping bends and
you know,
split
like
routes. Stay sharp.
straight from Twitch, 7 gigs maybe, but run it through DaVinci and then suddenly becomes like 70 gigs and like, what the heck?
That's more time in the bank.
Certainly makes uploading them a lot more to YouTube a lot more awkward because, you know, most VODs, it's like, yeah, I'll get them up there in like maybe an hour at most, but if I gotta do like 70-hour edited VOD, 70 gigabyte edited VOD, that's like multiple hours. Definitely switches up how I handle things. I even went through the trouble of just like power cycling my router because I kind of noticed that I was starting to have like internet troubles, right? It's like my connection was getting all screwy even if it was wired, so I was like, okay, I'll just power cycle the router and the modem. Guess even that wasn't enough. I have had this one for a while, so maybe it's just burning out. I should replace it, see how that goes. Honestly, I really should just like think about changing rooms, because as much as I like this place, it's starting to become a bit overly familiar for me. I should probably switch things up, get a slight change of scenery, maybe. Might get me a new perspective on things.
If there's any extra time to gain, then you need to find it quick.
I guess it's the kind of thing I like. At least that's the pace I go, right? Maybe stick with what's familiar for a little while, but I do want to change it up. Maybe not to the frequency that some other folks might, but I do appreciate a little change here and there. I guess that's why I moved like a ton of times. Like, a lot. Like, some of my siblings have actually been pretty set with where they are. Yeah, they're pretty content with where they are. It's cool. But I guess me, I'm just moving around. There is one spot that I kind of wish I was able to stay at. I think I already brought this up, but, you know. So that was when I got laid off in 2017 and just had to kind of switch gears.
10 seconds left. You don't have
Fortunately,
much time
haven't
left.
been able
Give it all
to
you got.
kind of fix that up. I wonder if at this point, if it's even
5 seconds
worth
to go before
like
the next
trying to
checkpoint.
come back, because I'm sure the place there has been changed drastically. And yet another checkpoint race in which I did not manage to cross that one final checkpoint. I wish they told us how many checkpoints we passed and not like distance, because that's what matters for this one. Ah well, if I don't meet the objective, I'm just gonna move on. It's only like a handful of fans. I already way sailed past the needed amount.
Okatama is a drifter's paradise. Get the car sideways and carve yourself a path through the mountains.
This is going to be a much shorter one. Okay, maybe not as short as I thought it would be, because they're giving me a whole 50 seconds in the bank to start. I only drift when I have to.
Time banked.
Look, even he said time bank. It's kind of ingrained into our language.
More time. Keep going.
Lots of banking happening. I already did all my banking last week. Or was it the week before last week? I honestly... Time keeps on slipping into the future. Wow, that was a lot smoother pass. Not completely smooth, but you know what? I made it through. Man, this is a real downhill jam right here. Tony Hawk, eat your heart out. What amuses me the most about the THPS series, Tony Hawk says the downhill jam type maps are his favorite ones. I have to admit, I did have an enjoyment for them back in the day too, because I kind of like that sort of map where it's like, you just gotta kind of take things as they come. But, you know,
10 seconds left.
definitely can see how that would be annoying now, right? If you only get one shot, then you really only get the one shot.
5 seconds left.
Well, I know the 1 and 2 remake did try to alleviate that so that, you know, there was still time remaining on the clock, then you would just, like, go back to the start and then have another go at it until the clock ran out. So that was pretty cool.
Great driving, Goose. Well done. You got first place.
Alright, first place. So is that 60? I hope that's 60 total. Well, we'll see if they have objectives completed 1. Objectives completed 0! Well. Whatever. Those fans are probably sour anyway. Nah, I shouldn't say that. I'm referring to people. You know, they're not real people, but, you know, people, virtual people, but still.
That race right there. That's exactly why you're here. Don't stop now, though. I've got more.
Not those
serious
other
things to do.
races
Keep
where you
bringing
also
those results
dominated.
back and you'll get a spot in the final.
Alright, Drift series. So this one will probably be mercifully shorter, because these Drift segments tend to have shorter tracks. Probably get one with a lot of weight to them. So either a Jaguar or... You know what, let's drive Aston Martin. I'm gonna go real bougie for this one. I'm going to smoke all you plebeians with my fancy-ass drift car. Most used vehicle, still a Nissan Silvia. Well, all things running well, I should definitely meet the objective for this one, because if I get first, then I'm naturally going to beat whoever they want me to beat.
Avoid the rock faces.
Ooh, a
grass
drift
beds,
in
and ditches
California.
by the road. They could turn your car over if you crash.
Alright, here goes nothing. I heard like a small beep. Well, that's like what they would use like in real life to kind of let the racer know, hey, you're good to go.
Stay in control, otherwise
Dang
you
it.
just end up losing your current drift points.
And make sure I gotta drift past these poles here, because... Blast! Gotta pay attention to the clock, too.
You can score higher by drifting at a wider angle.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, that was it. Whew. Yeah, look at that. First place, baby. 75,000. How much did I smoke everyone? Oh, okay.
You're in a great position sitting
I
on
was
top of the
actually in
leaderboard. Don't get
danger.
knocked off.
Only 8,000 points between me and the other fellows. Actually managed to beat my friend. Drifting is also not their forte. You can at least feel comfort in that. You wonder how long ago they
Uneven
played
rock faces that
Grid
line the
2.
track are brutal. Give 'em a wide berth.
Part of me assumes they also picked it up during when they had the free giveaway way back then.
The last couple of events here have given you a good lead on this track, so you should have a good chance today.
Yeah, but that was during a race. This is a drift. Things are slightly different.
Great move.
Thanks, man. Oh wow, that was like a whole ass 20,000 points. Oh wow, I thought I was gonna get dinged for that, but nope. Drift, damn you.
Remember, the more sideways you can get the car, the
I feel like
bigger
I'm
your score will
Jamie
be.
Heineman with the duck. Just sitting in a car going, drift, damn you, while smashing gas and brake.
Precision and control are everything if you don't want to lose your points.
Alright, one final effort in this.
That's good. Keep them clean.
The fucking car blocked me. Ah well, still got first. Doesn't matter, got first. Probably did a bit more of a smoking this time. Yeah.
You're in a healthy position right now. Keep giving it your all, and you can take this.
Ooh, okay. Right, absolutely smoked me in this track. Then again, when you got the big corners, you can really let go. You know how to drift, you really can let go and just get all the points.
Okutama tracks run on an extreme gradient.
Of course, we end
Maintaining
on
speed is the
Okutama.
key to success. Okay, line up at the start gate and wait for the green light. You've got a brand new set of tires that are just waiting to be shredded out there.
The 3, 2, 1 go is also timed with the lights. That's pretty cool. Yeah, 280 points. Let's go.
Keep the points coming. Great drifting.
Fuck. Could have had it if just not spun out. Okay. Well, I can sort of ballpark. Maybe 55,000 is kind of what I need to, get that first place. The time limit here is actually like rather generous for how long this segment is.
Keep it up. Hitting anything loses your drift points. Be careful.
Yeah, anything. Even the little gates, which I guess makes sense. Any further and you would
Great
have
drive,
met the
boys.
wall.
That was an amazing race. What a win.
Anyways, that was like pretty quick and easy. Oh my god, 200,000. Not even, can't even consider that one. Anyways, that should be one objective finished, right? One, yes. Ah. Gonna get ourselves all the way up to 20, almost 28 million. That's a lot of people. Just imagine like Patrick just like looking at a gigantic.
Completing them will ensure we get noticed.
Now I don't even want to finish that. That just got really creepy for me. Anyways, oh, here we are. Let's make sure we got everything else squared away. No challenges. Promos are all checkmarked. So this is it. The end of season 5, and we'll see where this takes us. We can build our fan base by 1 million. We'll have ourselves a cool 30 million. Going through Paris, then Miami, then Dubai, then Barcelona, and finally ending things off at Chicago. Just one of the things I like about video games when they kind of put a nice bow on things. They end it where it all began. Here, we started a career in Chicago, and now we're gonna end the season in Chicago. Maybe the career, we'll see. Which car shall we use for this season finale? Fortunately, it's not the Nissan Silvia. It's not part of the Super or the GT3 class, so whichever one of these has the highest acceleration is one I'll pick, probably. As it always is. It's looking like Bugatti here, actually. Yeah, we'll pick that. Here goes nothing. 5 events. 5 events separate us from the season championship. Ooh, wow. 970 miles driven in the career. We might hit 1,000. We might hit 1,000 to end of season 5.
Corner exit speed is key in Paris. There are a lot of straights. You know how far we've come.
A lot of straights and a lot of exit corners. Corners, a lot of straights. One to watch, Harrison Carter. Also, the first rival who started it all. A bunch of sponsors wanted their bounty, put a bounty on them. Smoked them. Now Harrison is just like, I'm back for revenge, and I've brought back all of your other rivals, and we're going to take the championship. And I'm like, you'll have to take it from my cold, dead hands first. Oh boy. That's not the kind of wall ride I want.
Okay, there's been a crash behind you.
Yeah, a crash, yep. Funny how that happened. Yeah, don't look into it too hard, just thanks for letting me know. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that. Ooh, Harrison Carter really wants a piece of me. Hey, you know what? For season 5 finale, probably appropriate that we get some opponents that are willing to put up a fight. Now, this will only be annoying if I end up losing the whole race.
Into first. Keep it there.
Or not losing, but more like not getting first. Gotta make that distinction, right? Because, you know, getting second is still a victory to a degree. It's just not the degree of victory I want. Good. It's only a 2-lap deal, so this track will only be 4 minutes.
Final lap. You're in the lead. You got this.
Oh yeah, that music's fired up. That's how you know it's a season finale.
Is only 5 seconds behind you. Keep it smooth.
Only 5 seconds, he says, but usually if they're back that far, they don't have much chance of catching up. Well, I can see them on the radar, so I guess might be slight cause for worry. I very least know that if I do mess up, they're poised to take that pole position.
You got a 10-second lead on the car behind. That's plenty of room to breathe.
Oh man, 10 seconds. Okay, yeah, now I'm... Yeah, like you said, plenty of room to breathe. Breathe a bit more easily. Man, this car, I kind of really dig the way it handles. And most of the cars feel like, if this one's like, feels especially responsive. There's that 10-second gap being used to its advantage there. Plenty of time that, even if I do mess up, I can recover and still maintain first. Oh yeah, this first place is gonna be all mine, baby. And that's it. Race 1 of 5 done. 4 to go. Wow, got it done in like 3.5 minutes.
You're doing great. You're at the top of the leaderboard. Try and stay there.
I'll try my best. I see that right? I beat my friend in that one. Huh. I wonder if he was also getting like exhausted at this point. Yeah, this was like really great, but I'm ready for it to kind of wrap up. There we go. There's their funny number, 69. Ha ha ha.
Keep an eye out for split routes. We don't want to end up in the barriers. You're near the back. It's gonna be a hard race if we're gonna go for the win. Sector 1 is where you really need to push yourself.
Crash Team Racing, they would put your position in the next race will be determined by where you finished in the last race. Why can't they do it in that games like these?
From the back of the pack. Good work.
Like, even if they did it in reverse order, so if you like finished first, you would start the next race in 12th. To try to even things out, but
You're nearly into the top 3. Let's get you there.
probably wouldn't make too much of a difference, but at least feel more appropriate. I don't know how else to put it.
Okay, Goose. You're in the lead.
We're sitting pretty. I do like how the back spoiler is kind of readjusting itself depending on the mode we're in, so yeah, you see how I brake and then it goes up to kind of provide more resistance to slow me down more.
You got 5 seconds on the car behind you. Stay focused and keep the lead.
I wonder if there'll be like a point where that system like completely fails and just see the spoiler fall off.
First lap down.
Oh man, this is a 3-lap track. So it'll definitely be here for more than 4 minutes, that's for sure. I wonder how much faster this lap will be since I got a running start. Didn't have to contend with cars on it. We're almost 3/4 of the way through it,
With a
and
10-second lead. Let's keep it that way.
we just broke a minute. It's very possible that we could finish this lap in under a minute and a half.
You just set the fastest
9
lap time
seconds
this race.
faster. Man. See the speed I can go when I don't have to worry about other racers or starting up. Well, at this point, not even going to use a flashback, just got enough of a gap that I could probably do that. Only 13. I think that was like around the time where for some reason all the racing games like got like super dramatic music to go with it. Like, if I remember correctly, the Forza game that came out with the launch of the Xbox One also, for some reason, put out a dramatic soundtrack, and people were kind of riffing on it, because it's like, the other Forzas didn't quite have that. It was like they were trying to give this car racing a sense of reverence that maybe felt out of place compared to what it was given before. Yeah, this track here sounds like, you know, came out a split second. Just expecting like a bulldozer to come crashing through, or a helicopter to drop a explosive bomb or something to that extent. But for us, this is another first place. Race 2 of 5 done. 40% of the way through.
Well done. You're leading the event.
Bruno Silva, hot on my heels. Right behind me for these past 2 events. See if they can keep this pace up. Still 69 WSR wins. And this will be number 70. 983.5 career miles driven. Yeah, I think we'll get close to 1,000, if not pass it. Ah, 2 laps. So this will be a longer track.
So try and get a clean start.
It's all familiar dialogue. We've heard it before. Fight your way to the front of the pack and then stay there. That's how racing usually is, right? Well, that's probably not going to help things. Okay. Doing better.
Third place. Keep going.
So close to taking pole position, and there we have it.
That lead's yours. Take it back.
If the current positions stand,
Put you in the lead.
Bruno will actually fall back a little bit. They won't be able to stay in close contention. It's what they need, right? They gotta stay close behind so that the moment I mess up and drop a spot or two, they're right there to take it from me. Of course, that's not gonna happen. I'm going to get straight firsts, because I've done that before. Why change now?
Keep on defending that lead.
Oh, you know I will. Alright.
Second place is only 5 seconds behind you. Keep it smooth.
Only 5 seconds. That's fine.
You're in first. Just
Even
this
if
lap
I
to
mess
go.
up once or twice, I should still be ahead of them. Yeah, we'll have this done in like maybe 3.5 minutes if the other 2-lap race was any indication. I might have mentioned this already, but I like it when they do variable number of laps, right? They're not committed to
Got a 10-second
having
lead on the
3,
car behind. That's
where it'd be
plenty
3
for
laps
you.
or 3 sections of a track. Just give us 1 lap, 2 lap, 3 laps, it'll be fine. It's always Baby Park that's the exception, right? They're committed to 3 laps on literally every other track, but Baby Park is the only one where they'll do whatever number of laps they need to make it feel like it's comparable to the other ones. Like, it's okay if N64 Rainbow Road is like a 2-lap track. We'll be fine with that. Don't need to make it a 3-section short track. Man, this is another appropriately heroic sounding tune. I guess I should say weirdly heroic sounding tune. Again, another track that feels like it came out a split second. There we go. 3 out of 5. 2 races to go.
You're doing great. You're at the top of the leaderboard. Try and stay there.
Bruno fell behind a little bit, but still hanging on. I mean, hey, second. If he manages to nab a solid second, it'll probably be worth it, right? Now to Paris, another high-speed tour.
Don't get hemmed in. Good luck.
3 laps.
Silva is on pole. He'll be sure to make a fast start, so don't let him get away.
Don't worry, never did. Have not done so, and don't plan on starting now.
Sector 1 is where you really need to push yourself.
It's always Sector 1. I think maybe heard Sector 2 like a handful of times. When is this guy gonna comment on like Sector 3 or Sector 4? Maybe it's just like I mess up enough in the first part of the race that Sector 1 is what they bring up the most.
Alright, you're into second.
Bruno, I got your number. Now you're
Okay,
eating
Goose,
my
you're in the
dust. We've almost hit the end of the lap and not reached a minute and a half yet.
Only 2 laps remaining.
Okay, good. This race will be over fairly quickly. Now comes the... What's with the winky face, Godfather? Also, hello. I've seen that emote a lot. I've seen that... Well, maybe not a lot, but I've seen it a handful of other streamers. Or, you know, they'll make their version of the kind of zoomed-in winky face thing. Always... I do find it amusing.
You're 5 seconds ahead of second place. Keep extending that gap.
Don't you worry. I'm gonna make sure they don't catch up. This track's like pretty...
You just set the
seems like
fastest lap time this race.
it's not too hard to maintain a good speed. I'm fine. How are you? I'm doing pretty well. Had some unexpected things happen this week, but there were good unexpected things, right? They were pleasant unexpected things. Got to catch up with some old buddies of mine because they were in town, and it was a nice kind of a reunion of sorts. So that was pretty cool. You had anything unexpected happen for you, Godfather, or just like another week so far for you? Both are fine, right?
Keep it smooth.
Sometimes it's nice to have a change to the routine, but other times it's just nice to have everything work out the way you expect it to work out, because that means nothing catastrophic has happened. That's as much as we'd hope for, right? Another day, another dollar. Yeah. I get that feel sometimes. It's just like, well, you know, you just go through, right? In the end, you get stuff from it. So,
All right, you're the man to beat. First on the leaderboard right now.
you know, it's honest work, right? It's not much, but it's honest work. Got an achievement for getting 1,000 miles, so didn't even realize that was an achievement. So we did break 1,000 miles, which is pretty cool. 59 cars owned.
The roads are wide here, so make sure you use all the runoff to help carry your speed.
And it all comes down to this,
Being the
Chicago.
WSR champion has always been your dream. Now make it a reality.
We started in Chicago, and we're going to end in Chicago. At least that's what it feels like. I mean, Radio Man's up there just
aggressive starts. It's not what we want.
talking about, you know, WSR championship. It's like, feels like what we're leading it up to. So this has got to be it, right? We get first in this event, and we're like, boom, done. Roll credits or something, right? Unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to continue being known for aggressive starts because it's kind of I'm not good at dodging cars. And besides, they bump into me. Why can't I bump into them? They had it coming. Man, this shifting sound sounds like really heavy. If that is the shifting sound, right? That's like that burst of flame that happens and the really loud sort of clunk-like sound I hear. Oh man, 3 laps and this is like a pretty lengthy one. It's only a minute and a half, and we still got about a quarter of the lap to go. That's it, we'll see how much faster lap 2 is.
First lap down, and you're steaming ahead.
Yeah, it was like about minute 50. So I suspect we'll be able to shave that down to like a minute 40. Which means this race will be 5 minutes long. That's a long time for a
5
race.
seconds on the car behind you. Stay focused and keep the lead.
The car has a mean cough. Oh man, quick, someone check its oil. Make sure we get some of the refined stuff in there. Definitely does feel like, you know, it's like one step away from just having a shift and just hear a much louder explosion and then the car just slows to a halt. That actually did happen to me during a road trip. I wasn't the one driving the car, but I was in a car that just like suddenly had a park brake, and we kind of got stranded far from home. Luckily, the people I was with was able to call in some favors, and we got someone else to come out there and get us back home. But it was definitely, you know, a harrowing moment. Worrisome for a bit, if only because we didn't know how things would turn out. But it didn't turn out the best, but, you know, could have been much worse. I think that's like what you can hope for. Yeah, it's about the kind of face I would make too if my car suddenly broke down in the middle of the road. Yeah, and there's the immediate concern of like, oh no, I'm like stuck in the middle of the road, I'm holding up traffic, how am I gonna get it off? And then now you gotta worry about, okay, what's wrong? Where do I take my car, and what do I need to get it fixed up, and what am I going to do after that? Like, am I gonna need to stay here for a night? Am I gonna be able to get back home? How much extra money is this going to cost me? A lot of things that just kind of flow through your head at that moment. Man, this soundtrack is getting real climactic right now. Appropriately so. Because, you know, here at the final lap of the Season 5 finale race. Gonna have ourselves the championships within our grasp. Just need to make sure we don't overly screw up in this final quarter of the lap here, and we'll have it into the final turn. Let's do this all fancy-like. Alright, I already failed, but you know what? We're still gonna get first. In the end, that's what matters. First place in the 5th race, and the first overall. And oh man, 5 minutes overall. Whew.
Now that is how you win in style. This is the biggest moment of your career. It's a turning point for World Series racing. Lap it up. You deserve it.
Ah yeah, 100 points even. Look at that, second place, Bruno Silva. You didn't even come close, like 76. Well, they got fairly close actually, because you know if they got second place on the other races, they would have had 80, which would have been their theoretical maximum. Fancy light crashes immediately. I know, right? It's all about that timing. Seems to be a VTuber thing, right? So they say something, and then the universe conspires to make sure the exact opposite thing happens. I'm like, well, you know what? Still got it in the end. Maybe not the spectacular finish I was going for, but still got a pretty intense finish. The greatest racing series ever created. Who made WSO? Oh, okay. So get all the articles written about us. Ooh, even comics and stuff. Look at that. Oh man, a ride that started it all. The Mustang Mach 1. One driver has defined a generation. World Series Championship. Me, 2018 best driver. So that's it, huh? Oh wow, look at that. Credits. Hey, so it was 5 seasons long. And that's well, I thought you finished Grid already. I kind of thought it was leading up to a conclusion several times too, but it's only now that they finally made it. Yeah, I thought they would have wrapped things up at Season 4. Felt like it would have been a good spot, since, you know, that was the amalgamation, right? Season 1 was North America, Season 2 was Europe, Season 3 Asia, Season 4 it's like the remix season, and then suddenly they added Season 5, which was Remix version 2. But now we're here. We're at the end. We are the champions of the world, best driver in the land, at least in 2018. Anyways, that's Grid 2. It's kind of a funny contrast compared to how much I went with Grid 1. It's like, you know, Grid 1 did one session, just completely ate it like 70 different times and just rage quit that one. Grid 2, it's like, nah, I sat through from beginning to end. I think might have to do with being able to more control the settings, so I didn't have to worry about damage modeling, and being able to adjust difficulty on the fly probably helped. Also having like the more structured career, so you're always kind of going through new event after new event. It's not like Grid 1 where it seemed like the thing to do there would be to, you know, grind stuff until you hit the point thresholds, and then you get to do the big deal events and then move on from there. 2018 best driver, woo! Yeah, I know, right? It's time to cheer, throw up your hands, shake those pom-poms like you just don't care. But yeah, I know, imagine people some people had some issues with the way Grid 2 changed things up. Like the handling model I would definitely get, right? This is like Grid 1 handling style is something you got used to. The fact that they made it a lot more arcade-like in Grid 2 probably was not something most people would be into, but I guess the career being more structured might be something that people weren't into as well, because it's like, you know, more guided tour. It's not like you could have it more freeform, pick what you need to do, what you want to do to kind of climb your way up the various different events, but I kind of like the way they did it. Though from what I read, the next Grid game they did, like many years later, would kind of switch it back to how Grid 1 did things, so yeah, I think I might actually visit future Grid games, right? If they go on sale or whatever, I'll just pick it up and give it another go and see how it goes, because, yeah. Thought maybe Grid 1, maybe Grid 2 would be like what I would do with Grid 1, just like do a one-off and then put it down, walk away from it. But nah, I did the whole thing. What is this? What? Oh, Ben Diskin, really? Did not expect to see a name I was familiar with in here. Boy, that guy gets around. Like, just low-key voice actor. You need a role filled called Ben Diskin, right? Can't reach Yuri Lowenthal or Troy Baker or Nolan North. Don't worry, Ben Diskin's got your back. It's like him and Max Middleman. Need a role filled. There you go. Enjoyable experience. Yeah, that's definitely where I'm standing. I really like Grid 2. Almost a shame that it's been delisted on Steam, because man, I would not mind going through the DLC. From what I read, the DLC adds like maybe a track and some stuff, and it's like mostly free play stuff. So it's not like they do an expansion career or anything like that. So, and who knows? Maybe this is like available on EA app. Maybe not. Maybe 10 years out, the card license is expired. It's like they'll probably not interested on renewing them, especially since they can do like future Grid games, and they have done future Grid games. Let's see. I know they did like just a full-on Grid, right? It's like a Grid 2019 or whatever, and then they had Grid Legends, which I think seems to have a more mixed reception. But the Grid immediately before that one seems to have had okay reception, so. Yeah, I'll put that on like a list of games to play in the future at some point, right? Just give more Grid, because hey, this was a good time, good enough time. Now I'm done Grid, just have to think, boy, what do I want to play next week? I know this is kind of like been one of the pillars that I've kind of based my streams on, but I don't even know if I want to like keep doing racing games weekly. I still got like a bunch of racing games I could do, but man, there are other games I want to slot in there. Well, that'll be a bridge I cross when I get to it. I still have racing games I can play, that I can go through, so I'll just have to pick one out for next week. Whether that was a one-off or maybe a start of a new series remains to be seen. This is it. Our final fan tallies: 34,703,500. Yeah, look at that. No more career. It's just custom event, split screen, and timeline. Yeah, man, look at that. Look at all this stuff we went through, right? We got, yeah, the first 3 seasons. I forgot. We had the Convince the Clubs, and the WSR was like just a shorter series. Can't get any more fans from it, but no. Right over here, custom event, race type. Yeah, this is all the stuff we've done here. Vehicle tier, yeah, tier 1 through 4. Choose whatever rounds you want. Track selection. Yeah. Conditions are just day, night. There's no other weather for it or anything, so you can't choose like snow or fog or anything like that. Bit of a shame. Miami, Paris, Garve, Brands Hatch, Indianapolis. Yeah. Okutama, these are the sprint ones. California, Hong Kong, Côte d'Azur, Yas Marina, Red Bull Ring, Franco Champs, Mount Panorama. A lot more locations than I remember. Hey, I wonder if there's like a live routes version of this. Or is this just something that's for career? Oh, they do give a lot of control for your custom event that you can make. Oh, split screen is... Heh, imagine that, split screen. Then again, this game was out in 2013, so... Probably makes sense they would have that option. Oh, man. That's it. We're just on top now. Here we are, look at that. Got the VIP plaques, we got the trophies representing each season, I imagine. We did it! Greatest racers in the land. This game will remember our name. Alright, well... This feels like a pretty good spot to call it, right? Best driver with no money. That's... You know what? I'm kind of surprised. I... remember... upgrades being a thing. But... Oh, because of crashes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All that prize money I got was spent on insurance, lawsuits, restitution, damages, fines, all that stuff. Yeah. But hey, you know what? I got exposure. And in the end, that's what really matters, right? I'm kidding, of course. Always make sure you're fairly compensated for the work you do. Yeah. That probably should go without saying, but there you go. Any case, as I was saying, I think this is... I will call it here. This has been Grid 2. I have enjoyed it. I hope you have also enjoyed it. Guess we'll see what I play next week. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Hopefully I'll have that figured out by Monday at the very least when I get my schedule planned out. I probably will. I just wanted to say that. Anyways, thank you everyone who came by to this stream. Anyone who chatted, anyone who came by and watched. I appreciate all of you all the same. And now let us pass on this viewership. It's not that much, but you know what? I'll give them what I can. See who's on to raid. Hopefully it won't take me like an eon to pick someone out now. I always want to go to like someone new, but I feel like at this point I've kind of hit a lot of them. It's like seeing familiar faces. Man, like one of these days I'll work up the courage to just do something wild and just raid a bigger name streamer. Probably won't be up for a bit though. I want to maybe do a smaller ones first. Because, hey, rising tide lifts all boats and all that stuff, right? Help them now. Maybe they'll repay you the favor one day. And if they don't, that's fine too. I do remember, seems like my parents were always transactional with the way they did things. It's like they only did things for other people because they expected favors to be repaid. For me, it's like, yes, repayment is nice, but if there comes a need where someone genuinely needs help and you know, might not be in a position to be able to give it back, then I'd be fine with just, you know, coming away with the satisfaction of knowing that helped someone in their time of need. Which I guess is a roundabout way of saying it's like, if I raid someone, I shouldn't expect to be raided back, especially since, you know, it's not much incentive to raid me. They'd only be doing it to repay a favor. Or, I guess, because I was playing like a game similar to them, that's what like 2 people who raided me for. Oh man. Didn't realize I hit top of the list here. Yeah, heck with it. Let's see if anyone else is playing Grid 2, and if they are, maybe I'll just get into them. Whether they be VTuber or a real-life streamer. I should refresh. It's been a while, so might have changed since then. Oh wow! Hey, wow! Look at that. I'm the only one streaming Grid 2. Then again, this game is like super old, so it doesn't surprise me at all. Like how I was the only one streaming RPG Time, the only one streaming Red Out, probably. Honestly, I probably had to play something like Need for Speed to maybe get some other folks on it. I spotted 2 people that I maybe made in. They're playing games that I dig. One of them I finished, the other I haven't. This comes down to who do I want to maybe send everyone in? think I might have raided one of them before, so... No. Alright. But I think I will... Now the next step is to see if they're open to raiding. Sometimes they might not be, right? They might be like ending stream. That's understandable. Ah, it went through. Cool. All right. Lily Crown is playing Hollow Knight. That game is like freaking awesome. So let's drop by them, go and say hi. I guess if you're joining on the raid, give them WSR World Champions raid, right? If you're joining in on them, if you're joining in on the raid, give them that. If not, have a good rest of your week. I'll see you on Friday for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can fix the Dimensionator there. But that's a tale for Friday. I'll see you then.